Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi, Tsumihoroboshi, Horoboshi, whatever. I saw another update thing and I clicked on it and I think it installed an update, but I don't know at the same time. Steam, I don't understand how updates work on specific games and all that. It's just like, I realized what it actually said. It said update queued, and it was like, oh, it's going to install this update or whatever this time. So I was like, I'll click on this. Oh, I can install it here, and I don't know if it actually installed or not. I just want my bloody cards, if that's even been updated yet. 'Cause seriously, man, we're halfway through this shit. As soon as I opened the front door, I smelled it. It smelled really good, so it wasn't ominous. My father isn't good at cooking, but he likes trying to cook creative dishes. I remember he used to cook something very challenging whenever he was in a good mood. So this smell was a sign that he felt that way. That's why I always liked to smell. It's just like the end of the previous part kind of felt like, ooh, ominous. No. Even I'm taken aback by this. I was expecting something different. The reason he's in a good mood is because he found a job. And not just any job, he found a job with a company created by friends from his old workplace. Well, good for him. They remembered my father and promised to hire him. He told me that some of his other colleagues from the old company are also working there. It must be very encouraging for him to work with people he knows, because he hasn't worked for a long time. The dinner looked great in contrast to how it tasted. It was a dinner to celebrate his new life, to show his determination to regain his bond with his daughter, and to make a clean start. I talked about a lot of things with my father that night. It had been a long time since the last time I talked with him like this. Birdie, 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 birdie. I don't remember when it was, but it reminded me of the days I was still happy. Which meant that I'd finally return to that time. Remember in the previous part, that emotional scene with bonds of friendship, where that track played? It's clearly a variation of this track, isn't it? But a more slow, melancholic version of it. Key change, possibly. My father still believes that Tippy is coming back one day. So he's still very cautious about locking the doors and windows, and he gets scared every time someone rings the doorbell. I told him so many times that they'd never come back, but I couldn't convince him because I couldn't tell him the reason why they won't. He'll eventually realize that he's free. I'm sure it won't take too long. My heart was full of many, many emotions that day. If emotions could actually burst a heart open, it might happen to me. My brain must have been overworked because so many things happened at once. My head was still fuzzy, but I managed to crawl into bed. I felt like the ground was moving. I totally lost my sense of reality. I remembered that I once felt like this when I got the flu. I might get a high fever tomorrow, but I don't care. I don't care if I get sick tomorrow. I just want to enjoy the fact that I took a step towards the future of my decision. Kichikun told me something like that today. The high fever and dizziness made me feel frustrated for some reason. But whenever I felt frustrated, I felt the heat on my wrist too. I grabbed my wrist with my left hand tightly. It made the frustration go away, and it brought me relief. Even the dizziness I didn't like just before made me feel like I was in a downfilled futon. I was falling asleep in that downfilled futon on my first night in a new world. This dizziness didn't go away for a few days, but I gradually got used to it. This new world looked like the world I used to live in before, but the sunshine was a little brighter, and Kichikun's smile looked a little bit more genuine than before. We made more noise than we used to. We spend every day slowly but in high spirits. Oh, what an idiot I am. I underestimated that dizziness and I caught a summer cold in June. I wanted to get better as soon as possible. I should have taken the day off from club activities, but I forced myself to play with them every day, and that made it hard for me to get better. I finally learned my lesson recently. I don't need to feel frustrated. There's no limit to happiness in this world. As long as we keep wishing for it, it'll continue forever. I don't need to feel frustrated anymore because tomorrow I will have the happiness I have today. We'll have the Watanagashi Festival next Sunday. Wait. Remember one tip a while back? They said like, 10 days away and all that. And I can't remember how it plays out. It's usually like around about like the Watanagashi Festival is usually where it kicks off, but then it's after the Watanagashi Festival where shit gets like really kicked up. Well, yeah, that's the turning point usually, isn't it? I wonder if we'll actually see the Watanagashi Festival this time, because we haven't seen it since. Well, in the previous arc, Mercash, we did kind of see a bit of it. But it was mostly from Shion's perspective, so we didn't see a great deal of it like we did in its question arc, Watanagashi, where we actually saw the whole thing, because it was from Gates' perspective. But aside from that, like, I don't think we even got to see much of it, if any of it really, in Higurashi. Yeah, I remember that. There were reasons for that, yeah. So really, only Kakushi and Watanagashi itself, those arcs have really focused on the Watanagashi Festival much. Michan tells us that we'll have to have a lot of fun, and that will go extra crazy. I really can't wait. Oh, I remember I actually looked in my dictionary, I think yesterday, and Sumi, I think, means like sin, or something like that. In Japanese, notice from the Forestry Service. That's an odd tip. You're crying right now with your achievements. Anyways, I looked through my dictionary and saw that. It's like, because I know this arc is in English would be called Atonement Arc or something like that. So the fact that Sumi, which is in the title there, means sins or something like that, it kind of makes sense, but I couldn't find the rest of it in my dictionary. But speaking of which, you should have a word of the day. Word of the day shall be... how about... oh, that's a random one. Katai, hard, stiff. Adjective. Well, I'll go with katai there, just because that stood out to me. Stiff. Stiff tips. I wonder... Oh, wait. Oh, if it's the Forestry Service... Ooh, and... It's still June, yet the air is filled with the cries of cicadas. How is everyone in Himizu doing? The Watanagashi Festival is coming just around the corner. We staff members from the Forestry Service are going to perform a wood sculpting demonstration at the festival. We'll be happy to lend out our tools and teach our kids how to sculpt wood themselves. It will be an excellent memorial gift. Also, we would like to inform everyone that we're going to cut down trees in the local hills this summer as part of the number blah 4 forest landscape management project. This project involves preserving the beauty of the forest by cutting down old trees and planting new ones. Forestry Services needs volunteers who are interested in helping us cut down the old trees. You can enjoy the beauty of nature under the blue sky while helping out with this preservation activity. The project will begin during some break, so you can bring your kids too. This will be a good opportunity for your kids to learn about nature and have a valuable experience of chopping down trees. Location of the project are the forest in the Tsutsuro and Ooishi areas. Yeah. If they're gonna be knocking down trees and planting trees in that area, that's kind of where they disposed of the body. So while there's like only a bit of a chance they'd come across it, that does kind of, doesn't bode well. But hey, it wouldn't really be Higurashi if shit like this didn't like happen. Just like, oh, and then they lived happily ever after. No, there's gotta be a twist every time. Yep, of course. Oh wait, we've gone straight to the Watanagashi festival. Welcome. Would you like a hot dog? Shaved ice is the best you've ever tasted. You can have it with strawberry syrup, melon syrup, or Hawaiian blue syrup. Try our takoyaki roulette. Winner's packed with a ton of mustard. Why do they show Ooishi there when I don't think any of those lines were spoken by him at all? But that's what always happens. It's like they're just like, oh, we'll just shove Ooishi on the screen because, you know, whenever he shows up, that's when shit's gonna get real. There are a great many booths at this year's Watanagashi Festival, except for in Hamatsubushi where he was a main character for once. In which case, it's just like, well, shit got real a few times of that, but not nearly to the same kind of level. There are a great many booths to this year's Watanagashi Festival, and there are hoops as well. Anything can become a festival if there are vendors selling food and music for bond dances, and I thought, it's still June, but it had been extremely hot the past few days, almost as if it's already summer. Well, it's freaking June! Isn't that summer? Is there like an official like, I don't know. When you think about it, it's like you're like, it's like, well, Japan is Japan in the Northern Hemisphere? I'm pretty sure it is. Or is there a mix of the two? I don't know. Never really thought about that. But there's a difference between the Northern and Southern Hemisphere. Seasons are different. But still, I always thought June counts as summer. Still June, but it had been extremely hot about it, but already summer. When you have a June festival with bond dance music under this kind of weather, the only thing that's missing to make it a perfect summer festival is fireworks. Bzz, bzz, this is Kumagai. Ooishi-san, can you hear me? Over. I heard a voice coming from my portable radio. With this earpiece, it looks a little like I'm secretly listening to the horse races while on duty. Sir Ooishi, I can hear you loud and clear. The town councilors gave us a lot of food. We have Odin, yakisoba, pork belly stew, and some barley tea. Do you mean the barley tea we can drink on duty, or the one we can't drink on duty? Well, if it's a canned drink, I'll take it. If it's in a cup, don't worry about it. Roger that. And all the members of the town council are here to say hi. We have the mayor and the head of the Sonozaki family too. What, that old Magorio is there? Can you tell her that I'm patrolling right now and don't know when I'll be back? Well, I don't think I can do that for you, sir. She knows you have a portable radio, so she told me to call you and bring you back here. She looks really mad. I'm sure it'll be a stroke that kills her. Roger that. Tell her with extreme courtesy that I'll be back soon. Please. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to go back and mingle with the locals. All of a sudden, a group of kids came running towards me from behind. After a quick look at them, I noticed that they were the grandchildren of the old hag and her friends. They occupied a corner of the shooting gallery stall, making a lot of noise. Mion Sonozaki. When acting her age, she's a cute, normal girl. But do I ever hate it when she acts like a member of the Sonozaki family. She'll be the most evoking Yakuza territory in 10 or 20 years, just you wait and see. And while I'm thinking things like that, I noticed that Mion wasn't the one taking leadership of her group this time. It was the boy. That boy, I know him, he just moved here recently. The boy from the Maibara mansion. Keiichi Maibara-kun, was it? I heard that the Maibara family is from the city, and they're supposedly very rich too. But he doesn't flaunt his family's wealth, and he has a good reputation because of that. Even though he just moved here, he's already adjusted to his new school, and he's popular with his classmates too. Everyone in the village seems to like him as well. He's very interesting to watch as a person of many moods. Boys of his age sure have a lot of energy. Ah, to be young again. Hey, you're up next, Rena. You're lucky it's your turn. Rena, are you okay? Are you feeling sick? You got a headache from the bird chirping all the time.
I'm sorry. I guess I have to pass on taking a shot. Okay, you should take a break for a bit. So, what? That would make it my turn now. Victory shall be mine.
It looked like only 4 of them were having a good time. The girl called Rena seemed outside of that circle of smiles. It seems Ooishi's always, he's very observant. You gotta give him that much. He can be a right asshole depending on the context. But, well, sometimes we see him, as an ally for the protagonist, but often he's kind of a bit of an antagonist. But all he's really doing is trying to get to the bottom of things. But he's very observant. The girl called Rena seemed outside of that circle of smiles. Her name is Rena Ryugu. What was her real name? I couldn't remember, but I can check when I get back to the station. Rena is only a nickname. Just he's thinking these things what's up with that? It's oh yeah, I'll check when I get back to see. It's what do you really got to really... she seems like she's not really enjoying the festival as much as the others. That seems suspicious enough for me to have to check out her real name. Let's actually see it in kanji. If it even is in kanji. I suppose Rena probably isn't, because it's a nickname. Yeah, that's her family name, Ryugu. Rena. Her actual name is Rena, and I wonder what kanji character that uses. In fact, I don't even know what kanji characters these are. But I know it clearly says Ryugu because that's her name. I always see this kanji character a lot as well. It's used quite a lot. Where's my phone? The Ugu alarm's going! It's somewhere. There it is. I can't believe I still have that as my alarm all these years later. It's effective though. I used to have it as my message alert, but then I was like, oh hell no. Just imagine finding yourself out in public and then suddenly you get a message and it's like, it's I can't explain that. So I just got a kind of guitar thing that is it's a sound effect from Little Busters, where it's just it's one of the sound effects that Kyosuke uses when he's I think he's trying to get Rin to socialize, and he has sound effects for whenever she does something right or wrong, and it's the last one he uses. That's what I use for my message alert. Well, I don't even have message alert. It's silent. It's just when someone calls. And it can be quite annoying, when that happens. Because and it's always a wrong number. I assume, because I never answer unless I recognize the number. But whatever. Back to the plot. I believe she moved here a year before my Marakun did. Her mother divorced her father, or something like that. She's a strong girl who does all the housework by herself. She's a very modest girl, I'm told, which is rare in this era. Unlike my Barakun, it seemed like she hadn't really opened up to her friends just yet. Which is weird when you think of all the other arcs who seems... maybe it's just in this case, in this scenario here, where she appears to be a bit distant. Probably because of all the events that happened and all that, obviously. They had looked like a group of 5, but there's distance between her and the others. It's a little sad, Barakun has become a part of the village, but Rena is still by herself. Well, that's just how it looks to me. Ooishi-san, the chief and the section manager are here. I wonder if they do the sound effects themselves. It's these walkie-talkies, radios, they don't have the sound effects, so we have to make it ourselves. Please come back as soon as possible. The chief and the station manager here and all. Roger that. I can't believe the chief came all the way here just to say hi to the locals. Because he's very dedicated to community service, eh? This is Sakazuki, Ooishi-san. Can you hear me? Do you copy? Over. Yes, I hear you. I'm on my way back right now. I'll be there in a minute. If I don't hurry up, even the chief might end up calling me. I ran back to the headquarters tent. Oh. We just got ominous festival music. Just like, and here's how they met up with Tomitake and all that. And they all enjoyed the festival together, but it's no text for it because we've seen it in Onikakushi, which this is technically the answer rock too. So they just skip over it this time around. I mean, like, I keep saying it, but Watanagashi and Manakashi, which Manakashi is answer rock to Watanagashi, they're the only answer rock that follows it completely to how the question arc plays out. This one doesn't play out quite the same, does it? It's similar, but it's not the same. But it is kind of got a lot of similarities. But it also feels like it's got similarities to Higurashi. It's weird. Ooishi-san, Dr. Irie is here. Oh, thank you so much for coming. So, what do you think, Dr. Irie? We skipped right from the festival all the way to this part. Can you guess what's coming? Haha. When she entered the corner area, and people from forensics were taking pictures of the corpse from various angles. I think that's gotta be the shortest time that Tomitake has spent in an arc so far. Just like, oh look, Tomitake, yeah, he's appeared at the festival, didn't get any text for him, and then the next thing you know, in seconds later, he's dead. He didn't even get to say anything. With each arc, he seems to be getting less and less of a role. He's just there to kind of be like, if there's one thing that reoccurs, it's that Tomitake always dies. Here he was squatting down next to the dead body of Jiro Tomitake. When he stood up, he looked pale. I don't know why, but the word in there just made me think just like, what you mean Irie or Tomitake? Tomitake just goes up, oh, I feel ill. Well, you can't even feel ill, you're dead. I can't believe it. I know I can't believe it either. Well, it always seems to happen, but, you know, we have to go through this process again because, well, just because the player and all that, the reader essentially knows all this shit has happened before, because it is not the same, thing, whatever, I don't even know, then we don't know. That is why. As far as I see, he clawed out his throat with his bare hands. Well, it's just like, you know, that's one of those words that, like same pronunciation, different meaning. So if he had bare paws, he probably could do that quite easily, I'd imagine. This isn't a normal way to go. Most likely it was the cause of some drug or something. He's saying he was a drug addict. Who knows? The bird is rattling at his mirror. I guess it's going to be my job to find that out. Ooishi-san, what's with this 2x4? Maybe he was swinging it around. Then he threw it away and had more fun clawing at his throat, I guess. Why was he swinging a piece of lumber around? Now, come to think of it, has this ever happened? Like, has this ever been, like, acknowledged before? It might have been, but I don't know. Because there's only, like, it focused on it in Onikakushi, obviously. And he might have focused a bit on it in Watanagashi, but other than that, he doesn't really tend to focus much on this, really, does it? I mean, Onikakushi was the first one, so it's, like, focused on this stuff completely. You probably did it in self-defense. Did you notice there are several external injuries on his body? Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is that he was attacked by someone on his way home talking about from the festival. He was seized by the culprit, given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug, went crazy and died. Never heard of any drug that can make people claw out their throats. I'm not a specialist, but many drug addicts injure themselves when they're in a terminal condition. But I'm sure the old man in forensics will take care of the investigation. Excuse me, Ooishi-san, we found a bicycle believed to belong to Jiro Tomitake about 100 meters away from here. Oh, that's great. Thanks for the finds. Any other clues? Not yet. They're investigating right now. That means the place where the bicycle was found is most likely the place he was attacked. And then he ran away from the suspect and ended up here.
You know what I find interesting about all this is that it's got this is all about like Tomitake and all that. So it's got absolutely nothing to do with the main thing in this arc being about Rena. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. Ooishi frowned, crossing his arms in front of his chest. Here he was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitake, and he kept saying the same thing over and over. It's impossible. It's just impossible.
After it happened, so it was possible, okay. Try to think flexibly. Oh, I get that you don't really see something like this every day, despite being a doctor. Anyway, thanks for your cooperation. You can go home now. We called you here for emergency medical care, but it looks like it was a waste of a trip. Sorry.
Ooishi stuck his head out of the blue tent and asked,
Can anybody give him a ride home?
He gasped all of a sudden as he turned to Ooishi.
What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san? What? Oh, your nurse. I think she was with him. Is she okay? Do you know her phone number?
Of course. You know, this I don't think was there either, really, was it? I don't think in Onikakushi. They didn't really acknowledge Takano until a bit later on, when Ooishi confronted Keiichi and dropped the bombshell news on him.
Yuma-chan, get your phone number from Doctor and make someone at the station call her house. Understood. Doctor, can I have the number? Yes, here it is.
Kumagai got the phone number from Area, repeated it back, and then dashed away from the blue tops.
Doctor, Takano-san and Tomitake-san were close friends, right?
Yes.
Have you heard about any troubles between them?
No, not even once. They were very close.
Well, I hope she's okay. In the worst case, she could be dead, or she could be the culprit. I see. Nurses have access to dangerous drugs.
We don't have anything like that in my clinic. Even if we did, we'd be extra careful with them. There's no way Takano-san could smuggle out a drug from my clinic.
Well, it's easier for nurses to do it than for regular people, right?
Like I said, I've never heard of a drug like that. I don't have anything like that in my clinic.
Ooishi-san, she isn't at home. The standby unit says they're going to go to her house to check.
Doctor, can you give me her address?
Uma-chan, can you also check if the police headquarters has found any unidentified female bodies tonight? Maybe we should check the other prefectures too. Tell the section manager if he can call the headquarters in the nearby prefectures and ask if they have any unidentified female bodies. Yes, sir. You're saying that Takano-san might also be dead. Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or if she's the culprit. Of course, it's possible she's not involved at all. She might just be getting drunk in a bar somewhere. It's unbelievable. Who does things like this? Well, it's unbelievable to me too. This fits with the rest of Monsieur's deaths in Ibizawa. It's been 5 years now. That would make this the 5th curse of Voyager summer. Damn it, I've got to get whoever's behind it this year for sure. I really want to put an end to these cases before I retire.
Though she hates the curse of Voyager summer, it had been leading him around by the nose for 5 consecutive years. The victim of the first year, the manager of the dam construction site, was his friend. Despite his desire to avenge his friend, the mystery had only deepened, and one case followed another year after year. Ooishi would be retiring next March, As a retiree, he'd be able to ask about the progress of the investigation, but he wouldn't be able to take the initiative anymore. In other words, this year was his last chance for revenge. Would he have to put his head in the lion's mouth to capture the culprits? Ooishi quietly clenched his fist. I believe this maze has an exit. Maze is a very convenient word. A maze always has an exit. A maze has probably a kanji character. Let's have a look at this. Of course, they don't highlight it in that same way, so it's just like, where's the maze? I think it might be that, because it's repeating here, so that's probably maze. Come to think of it, it's probably in my dictionary. Maze. Maze, 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 maze. Maze. Oh, damn it. I have to. No page. Maze. What? Maze isn't even in here. That's bullcrap. Probably is, but in the Japanese section, and I don't know what the, spelling is for it. How it's pronounced or anything, so whatever. You don't call it a maze if it doesn't have one. I know I'm on the right path towards the exit of this maze. I used to miss those many adventures, but now I don't miss anything. I don't make any mistakes. This time I could feel a response that was different than all the other times. I'm sure I can finally get to the exit of this maze. But no matter which path I chose to come to this point, your Tomitake always dies. Wait, what? What? Is this Ooishi's fault? Because if so, that means even he is kind of like got some subconscious kind of memory that shouldn't be. I mean, it happened with Keiichi as well, but Ooishi as well? That's something. Maybe that's how he's become so observant, because he's got the slightest, tiniest memory of things that shouldn't be. But that makes things even more confusing.